Critter Spray Products here to demonstrate how to set up your 118 siphon gun. First thing we want to make sure is that the vent hole in the top of the gun is clear. There is no paint or material plugging up the jar because it has to breathe. The jar has to breathe, and it breathes through that vent hole. Secondly, you want to make sure that the liquid nozzle and the tube do not have any particles lodged plugging up the tube. So I usually use a barbecue skewer to just run through to make sure that there's no obstructions. And for the liquid nozzle, I use a paper clip, and I just run the paper clip down through the nozzle and make sure that it is clear and there's no paint stuck inside the threads. Also make sure your threads are clean so that you can easily adjust the nozzle up and down the threads of the tube. Once you have that taken care of, then you need to get the proper location of the tip of the liquid nozzle in relation to the airstream. And when you may find that after you cleaned it up, you've set the liquid nozzle way too low, and you go to spray paint with it, that nothing's coming up. So I suggest that you start with water, because if it can spray water, then the gun's working fine. And connect your compressor, set at 30 pounds pressure. And for example, when the liquid nozzle is adjusted all the way down, you don't get any vacuum in the tube. As you start to move the nozzle in slight increments upwards, the tip of the nozzle gets into the airstream and starts creating a larger vacuum, pulling the paint up. So you're creating a vacuum, it's breathing through the vent hole, and the materials are being siphoned up the tube into the airstream. And when the tip of the liquid nozzle is halfway across the orifice of the air nozzle, that is where you're going to get your largest pattern, your most paint siphoned up the tube. So key components are a clean vent hole, a clean liquid tube and a liquid nozzle, and the proper adjustment of the tip of the liquid nozzle in relation to the air nozzle. Those three things will ensure and set it up using water before you go and mix up your paints. Start at 30 pounds pressure, and depending on what material you're using, various paints have various viscosities and atomize, some better than others. You may need to increase your air pressure on your compressor, or you may need to thin the paint out. So it is suggested that don't fill your jar up with paint first. Put some paint in the jar, try a test piece on a piece of cardboard, and then you may need to, if increasing the pressure doesn't improve the spray pattern or the spray characteristics and how it's spraying onto a piece of cardboard, then you may need to thin the paint down, mix it thoroughly, retest with the air pressures to make sure that you're getting a good smooth transfer of material onto the surface you want to paint. So hopefully those tips will help you in your next projects. Thanks.